Patrick Goris, the CFO of Carrier, so they produce cooling systems as well as heat pumps, and they completed just back in January the acquisition of Germany's Viessmann, so one of the leaders when it comes to heat pumps. That was almost a 12 billion euro acquisition, giving them a firm footing in Europe, as we see, of course, a lot of subsidies when it comes to green technology and heat pumps being a key one. So I asked about how quick the adoption of this kind of technology might be in Europe and whether there was a heavy and a high cost barrier.
The long-term opportunity for us is extremely clear. Today, for example, in Germany, less than 10% of the homes in Germany have heat pumps. So it's still either gas or it's oil that is helping to heat homes. Long-term, given also what the European directives are doing, that opportunity is clean and so clear, and so we see significant growth over the next several years. What has happened in some countries, Italy is an example, and in Germany, there have been some changes or some uncertainty created with respect to some of the incentives. We have seen that clear up. Like Germany just passed in January, they passed the legislation, they've changed updated some of the websites. Those are available now for individuals to apply for the incentives, started at the end of February, just less than a month ago. So we think that there is now an opportunity to see upside, call it, and heat pump growth, although for the first half of this year, the comparisons will still be very difficult. So we expect going forward to see growth in heat pumps over the next several years. This year, probably less.
Yeah. But there is a cost barrier, isn't there? And it's complicated to install heat pumps, and there's supply chain issues on top of all this. So how do you resolve all this to actually make these systems and all this being adopted quicker?
So with Viessmann, we're benefiting from having direct relationships with a lot of the installers. So we do not go through distribution. You're right that there is a cost differential between a heat pump system and a boiler system, but that's where both the bans help, but also the incentives. And in countries like in Germany, individuals can get up to a 70% credit of the installation cost, of the cost of the system through the government. So we think both will be required, but the long-term opportunity is clear, but I think both bans, regulations, and incentives will remain really important. And I think it's one of the reasons why over 15 different countries in the EU have incentives in place to replace fossil fuels with electrification.
And that was Patrick Goris, the CFO of Carrier, of course, a US-based company. It was interesting to hear in that interview that we talked about the IRA, of course, and he said, look, for now, we haven't seen a big benefits to date as a company when it comes to the IRA. So very interesting to hear that, because it's the first time I kind of heard that from a big company, especially one that is in the heat pumps business, which is a key one seen for the green transition.